This video tutorial goes over some key concepts for mastering your flat-footed squat with clubs and Mace. So here I have a 10-pound club bell. I also have a 7-pound Mace. You can use either, they're interchangeable. I'm gonna demo with the club first, and then if you wanna modify, you can use the Mace. So if you're carrying a baby, I'm here in my 3rd trimester, 6.5 months, you'll know that coming into a full flat-footed squat is an ideal and optimum birthing position. It's also great for increasing longevity for humans that are not pregnant as well. So super beneficial to be able to open the hips to be able to achieve a nice flat-footed squat. Some barriers that really prohibit people from entering that full flat-footed squat are generally hip flexor tightness. So addressing that with some mobility drills. I recommend things like kneeling lunges, which can be found in our Steel Mace Vinyasa curriculum. So we've got our kneeling lunge chest expansion to gunslinger. We've got our lateral bends as well, teasing out the hip flexor. And then, of course, making sure that you do a proper warm-up on both sides. I'll just show a couple here, just making sure I'm getting symmetrical in my own body. So when you're training for pregnancy, you're gonna feel things kind of shift out of alignment, and anything that was asymmetrical before is gonna be exacerbated. So just really making sure to take care in mobilizing those joints. All right, so the sequence I really wanna show you is Shin Box series. So you can start with your feet perpendicular to each other and start by just priming the hip girdle here. And this might be as far as you go. So be gentle with yourself. I wanted to create some content for the prenatal athletes that want to keep their athletic edge throughout pregnancy. So these videos are a bit more advanced, so just do your due diligence to listen to your body, see where you're at. Shinbox Hip Extension. You might need to use the floor at first to come up onto your lower shin. And here we're adducting the thighs in, creating full glute engagement and a shoulder pack. Eventually, you don't have to use your hands on the floor. Instead, you can imagine like carrying a tray, find a hip hinge, crown to coccyx alignment, sit back, perform 5 to 10 repetitions of Shin Box Hip Extension. So as you're bearing load in this more extreme angle, be mindful that this can definitely cause a little impact on the joints, especially the knees. But over time, you're starting to crease and groove up those hip creases to eventually be able to access the flat-footed squat. And then Shin Box Switch. You can switch by keeping the feet on the ground. I'll demo it from the opposite angle so you can get all angles and see how much glute engagement is here. Common misalignment is to flex the foot here. So really key to keep the top foot down, keep the back foot down as well. And then come to full fascial tension, so lats engaged, glutes engaged. Core is not gonna be able to be engaged as much if you're carrying a baby, but if you're not, you'll definitely wanna connect the trifecta there as well. Exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. Shin Box Switch. So now adding the apparatus of load. So here I have my 10-pound Mace. 10-pound club. I'm assuming you have some experience with a club. You can start in your order position, arm at 90 degrees. So this is not order, this is too acute of an angle. I need to have the wrist in line with the elbow. Here, press up. Inhale, back position. Exhale, press the club out to two-handed flag. Pull it back to the guard position. Inhale, back position. Exhale, breeze past that guard, then press to the center. Spiral the pit of the elbow up, sit back. This takes quite a bit of hip stability to be able to accomplish. Force level breath, you can breathe out in all directions, all phases of the movement. And place the club down to perform your Shin Box Switch. Your club, holding the right hand closest to the knob, top hand facing here, back those shoulders. See what your mobility is like, even getting up. If you cannot get up from here without using your hands, probably not the best idea to go into the full variation. Other variations, you could place it on the ground and pick it up and just work shoulder casts here with no two-handed flag, just seeing how much glute engagement you can keep. Center. You can do a partial sit back. And slow is good. We really want to maximize time under tension. And control the stability all the way up, all the way down. So in order for me to achieve this, I really need to draw in to create stability so that my sacroiliac joint and my other tendons and ligaments in my hip girdle, which are already put on a stretch, start to stabilize and come back in towards the midline. So you can perform the same thing with a mace as well. If you wanted to add some flair and add some other variations, you've got your horizontal overhead, which is found in my steel mace vinyasa program. Opening shoulders, drop swing. Shin Box Switch. I'm just gonna switch facing you guys so you can stay at this angle here. Reverse guard, pressing up, horizontal overhead, drop swing, two-handed flag. Over grip variation. Squeezing glutes at the top. And of course, when we take our load away, let's see what happens. So I come into my flat-footed squat, full fascial tension, my spine is upright, everything is active. I have stability on the way down. If I were to add a load, my body has something to work against, so I'm leaning back against the weight of the club, packing the shoulders, so that when I take my load away, what's left is that full activation in the multifidus. All right, hopefully you found these helpful. Try them out, break them down, ask questions, comment below. If you have questions about our 100-hour teacher training curriculum, highly recommend getting in touch and applying for that program. It's an amazing program, a full deep dive into kinesiology, yoga, steel mace mechanics, and somatics.